If you are thinking of joining the board or you are recently elected to the board, you should complete this training module. This training has been produced to induct new board members and to provide a refresher for existing board members to assist them in the role. It is essential that board members familiarise themselves with the responsibilities of this office and understand the significance of the duties they perform. This training may be used to advise you of your duties and obligations, answer some queries that may arise, and assist you in performing your function of a board member. This course covers a range of topics that a board member needs to know to get up and running in order to perform their duties. We will cover benefits of board membership, eligibility for board membership, time requirements, length of tenure, mission and purpose of the association, your role and responsibilities, who else is on the board, association financial position, director's insurance, who speaks on behalf of the association to make sure you do not overstep your boundaries, structure of the association so you know where you fit in and how it all functions, AGM and forum, where to find things and the website. This is an extensive resource available to board members and cannot be overlooked. Email, how to use the RAJSA email addresses, groups meetings, your role in attending group meetings, code and conduct, and guidebook. Let's have a look at some of the benefits of being on the board. Board service allows you to bring your life experience, skills, and the good head you have on your shoulders to channel your energy into contributing productively to a cause that's meaningful to you. You'll gain experience on complex issues that are integral to the association and the community. A board has a more strategic position which gives you the vantage point to see community and organisational problems and connect with them in a much more effective way. You build valuable networks and relationships with fellow board members and key stakeholders. By working together on issues you care about, you'll learn transferable skills that you can take away and use in your careers, such as management administration, networking, finance, strategic planning, stakeholder engagement, negotiations, grant writing, and policy development. Board service provides experiences you might not have at your current job, such as learning about corporate finances or planning specific meetings or communications. After you serve on a committee or take the reins as a committee chair, you learn leadership skills. Boards can boost your career, offering you the chance to create goodwill, doing good things in your community. It can go a long way in the professional world, can bolster your credibility and show that you have an interest in making the world you live in a better place, something an employer would likely consider a valuable quality. One of the key factors that senior leaders look for when considering promoting people is whether they have experience serving the community. Businesses want to be a good corporate citizen. They understand the value and skills learned by professionals who serve on not-for-profit boards. Get your name out in public. You'll be included in the organisation's website letterhead and in its publications. You'll have the opportunity to write articles, make presentations, and serve on panels at conferences. You can also put your board service on your resume. You can build a personal legacy if you're interested in leaving the world a better place than when you arrived. Sitting on a not-for-profit board allows you to actively make a difference. In the next section, we'll look at some of the questions new board members should ask themselves and some of the questions you can ask the board at your first meeting. Before you decide to nominate for the board, there are some essential questions you should be able to answer. These questions are depicted on the next slide.
For a person to be eligible to be nominated to stand for election to the board, you are required to be an ordinary member who has been a member for at least the 2 preceding calendar years and is currently financial. What is the reality of the time you'll need to commit as a board member? Being a board member is not just a couple of hours 6 times a year attending board meetings. That may be the perception. The reality is there is a lot more to be a board member, as the next slide explains. The range of activities that you will be expected to participate or perform include board meetings, strategic planning meetings, ad hoc meetings, preparation time for each meeting, addressing actions from meetings, attending subcommittee meetings, attending the annual general meeting, answering and sending emails, attending related functions and events, and attending a number of group meetings. Elected board members take office at the conclusion of the annual general meeting in which they were declared elected. Your term of office is for a nominal 4 years, which will conclude at the end of proceedings of the AGM following the term of your tenure. If you have been appointed to fill a casual vacancy, you will hold office for the term remaining until the next election. There is a position description for a board member. This is found in the board guidebook. It is highly recommended that you familiarise yourself with this, as it defines the expectations the association has for board members. The board is not a social event. There is an expectation that board members actively contribute their expertise to the running of the association. This is the key. Attend and actively participate in meetings. Become an active member of a committee. Make sure you are knowledgeable of the issues facing the association. Represent the board at one or more group meetings. Be productive and participate in the creation of artefacts required by the association. The association is an incorporated, not-for-profit organisation. A requirement of incorporation is that we have a constitution. We call this document the Association Rules. The rules can only be changed by a special resolution at a general meeting. Special resolutions will be passed on a majority of not less than 75% of those present or by proxy. This is the principal document that governs the association. The rules take precedent over any other association document. The Constitution provides that the association supports its members in the performance of their duties within the community. This includes to promote and support the status and interests of justices of the peace, disseminating information, providing ongoing training and development, and creating opportunities for social exchange and networking. Vision: to be the representative body and centre of excellence for justices of the peace and authorised witnesses. Mission: to assist justices of the peace and authorised witnesses to best serve the community through the provision of professional development, support and representation, and a professional network. The next 2 slides explain the responsibilities and roles of a board member. The role of a board member is to provide policy, leadership and direction, make decisions, ensure compliance, manage finances, protect assets, consult with stakeholders, communicate and network, appoint and manage the president. The responsibilities of the board are governance, policy, direction and strategy, renewal and succession, risk management and safety, meeting and decision making, advocacy. The association has a strategic plan. This is a document that tells us what we want the association to achieve and become in the medium to long term. The association needs to stay relevant to stakeholders' needs and expectations, and these do change over time. So the SP is there to prevent the association from becoming a dinosaur and fade from existence. Each element of the strategic plan is assigned to a board committee. The committee is then responsible to implement the assigned strategies and report on their progress in implementing the strategies. In order to perform operational activities, the association has policies, manuals, guidance notes and other documents that direct it and the association committees in performing the tasks required on a day-to-day basis. All these documents can be found on the website under the link Governance. What will be the legacy you leave behind? You should take some time to think about this. You have skills, experience, knowledge and a perspective of a world view. The board needs a diverse set of members to assure good governance and decision making. You bring along a unique set of experiences to the board. Make sure you contribute to the best of your ability. Have a voice on the board. Decide what you can contribute to making the association better and pursue this path. Get to know the other board members. They are listed on our website. Contact them and talk about the board, how it functions and what you can contribute. One of your major responsibilities as a board member is to ensure the association does not trade while insolvent and to ensure the long-term financial health of the association. Every board member, regardless of their individual skills and expertise, is required to provide oversight of the financial affairs of the association. If you know nothing about managing association finances, now is the time to do Finance 101. The link on this page, Advice for Board Members, will take you to a document you can download that will give you a good understanding of what is required of a board member. An incorporated association has limited liability. The association is a legal entity and can be sued. If the board operates within the law and with duty of care, i.e. not found to be negligent, then individual board members may be protected. However, we do not want the association to become bankrupt or have individual board members held liable, so the association must have the appropriate insurance cover. You should ask to see the insurance policy the association has and satisfy yourself that it is appropriate.
What are some of the issues concerning individual board members in relation to liability? You are not allowed to use confidential information for your own benefit or to pass it on to somebody else. If your duty to act in the best interests of the association is compromised by some other personal or professional interest, then you must declare this to the board. You must use your own discretion and act in the best interests of the association. You do not get told how to vote. You must not allow the association to trade while insolvent and not allow the association to become insolvent. Not knowing is not an excuse. Directors have a duty to understand the financial status of the association. As a not-for-profit association, directors cannot be paid for serving on the board. Directors can be reimbursed for association-related expenses. Board members' decisions should fit within the association's purpose as stated in the rules. Any powers exercised should be for a proper purpose that is motivated by the desire to benefit the organisation. As a board member, you are not authorised to represent the association to external organisations or the media. This is the responsibility of the public officer. As a board member, members will expect that you can speak authoritatively to them about the association, its strategies, plans, etc. You should do this, but please make sure you are well informed before doing so. The need for governance exists any time a group of people come together to accomplish an end. Where a group is too large to efficiently make all the necessary decisions, it creates an entity to facilitate the process. Members delegate a large portion of the decision-making responsibility to this entity. The board is a governing body of the association. The association uses the word governance to describe the way the board directs the association and the laws and customs, in other words rules, applying to that direction. This government consists of the set of processes, customs, policies and rules affecting the way the board directs, administers or controls the association. Corporate governance also includes the relationship among the many players involved, in other words the stakeholders, and the strategic plan. The board achieves this by implementing the following structure: a board that is the governing body, groups distributed around the state where JPs can meet to interact, learn and socialise, a registrar who is responsible for managing the day-to-day activities of the office, standing committees to perform the operational side of the business. These are the engine room, the people that make things happen. Groups. To enable the board to best fulfil its role, board members make regular visits to groups. As a board member, you will be assigned to at least one group for which you will be the nominated board representative. The RAJSA appoints, in writing, a registrar to be the administrative executive officer of the association. The Registrar is a paid full-time employee of the Association and is the Association's public officer, which is a mandatory requirement under the Associations and Corporation Act. The Registrar is also the RAJSA Security Officer and the RAJSA Privacy Officer. The Registrar is an ex officio member of the board and may act as secretary for board meetings, but the opportunity to act as secretary may be offered to other board members as a development opportunity. Board members interact with the Registrar by virtue of their appointments, but board members should not expect the Registrar to act as their personal secretary. The standing committees are very important and board members are encouraged to participate in a standing committee. The standing committee has a chair that is responsible to the board for the functions and performance of the committee. The board provides terms of reference for that committee. The chair submits a written report to each board meeting. The board meets once every 2 months at the Association office, as scheduled at the start of the year by the Registrar. Meetings are adjusted to allow for public holidays. Board meetings are normally chaired by the President, but the opportunity to chair a meeting may be offered to board members as a development opportunity. Several times a year, the board meeting is preceded or followed by a combined groups meeting. This is an opportunity for the various groups to present reports, receive updates on the association, and discuss items of mutual interest. It is not mandatory for board members to attend the combined groups meeting, but it does provide an excellent opportunity to grasp the broader activities and needs of association members. Prior to each meeting, the Registrar issues an agenda that is emailed to board members. If you want something to be included on the agenda, then you must notify the Registrar at least 2 weeks prior to the scheduled meeting date. The Registrar records the minutes of the board meetings and issues these, usually within a week of the meeting. There is an ongoing list of action items. New action items are added to the list with a person or committee allocated to that task, and remains on the list until the board agrees that they have been completed. When discussing a topic, a board member may propose a motion. Any motion requires a seconder before it can be discussed. The motion is then recorded by the Registrar. Discussion on the motion through the chair will follow. The chair of the meeting controls the discussion, and when the chair believes it is time for a vote, will ask for a show of hands of those in favour and those against. The motion is either carried or lost by a simple majority. It is not policy to hold a secret ballot at board meetings for motions. The annual general meeting of the Association is held during the month of October on a date, time and at a venue decided upon by the board. It is at this meeting that the board makes itself formally accountable to the membership for its performance for the preceding year. The President and the Chair of each standing committee will give a short report to the AGM of the activities of the preceding year. It is an expectation that the board members will make every effort to attend the AGM. Every 2 years, the AGM includes an election of board members. This is called an election year AGM. The association rules state that the association must have a groups forum each year. The board has adopted the following approach. In a board election year, there will be an AGM involving the election of the board members held in conjunction with a groups forum, a small-scale event. In the off years, there will be a large-scale groups forum called a state convention, which could be combined with the AGM or could be held separately. The annual forum is hosted by a member group who have total responsibility and control of the content of the forum and its arrangement and conduct. The convention is a wonderful opportunity for members to come together and participate in a range of things relevant to being a Justice of the Peace. It is expected that board members make every effort to attend and support these conventions. To find anything in relation to your duties as a board member, go to the association website. If you can't find what you're looking for, then ask the Registrar. Please take the time to go to the website and explore the links and various pages to familiarise yourself with the content that is available. The URL is easy to remember. It is rajsa.com.au. It is recommended that you take a break from this training and explore the website before you proceed any further. In doing this, it will make the rest of this training easier to follow and understand. If you click on the board portal, it will ask you to log in to our LMS. We do this to ensure that sensitive board documents are controlled. You will find all the information relevant to you to perform your duties as a board member. You will also become familiar with the information we have for all JPs. Then you will be able to advise members where they can access the information they may need. The box is what we commonly refer to as cloud storage. In other words, it is a computer located somewhere in the world that is connected to the internet, where we can store our electronic files and share this data with other people, but only the ones we give access permission to. The association uses box.com to store the files that we want to either back up and/or share with other people. We share them through links on our website or by links that can be emailed to people, rather than emailing a document as a bulky attachment. As a board member, you will access this information from links on our website or on the LMS. You won't even know you are using the box. The files will just appear on your screen when you click on a link. It gives you the option to download the file if you wish to keep a copy on your own machine or to print it. Please note that Box is a commercial application. It was not designed by the association. The LMS is the Association Learning Management System. This is our online training site which provides free training and resources to members. It requires you to log in before you can use it. As an RAJSA member, you automatically have an LMS ID and password assigned to you. As a board member, it is required that you change your password to something unique to you. Otherwise, it may be easy for others to guess your login details. The LMS contains online training for Awards 1 and 2. Every member of the board is assigned an email address in the form surname@rajsa.com.au. So, if your surname is Smith, then your RAJSA email will be smith@rajsa.com.au. If anyone sends an email to this address, it automatically gets forwarded to your personal email address that you have given to the registrar. This way, you can advertise your association email address to people for association purposes and keep your private email address private. Mail lists are a way of sending an email to one email address, which actually forwards it to multiple recipients. You don't have to worry about keeping the mail list up to date. Someone else does it for you. For instance, if you address an email to board@rajsa.com.au, the email will automatically go to every person who is a current RAJSA board member. It won't go to anyone else, and any former board members have been taken off the list. You do not need to keep track of everyone's email address. To enable the board to best fulfill its role, board members make regular visits to groups. As a board member, you will be assigned to at least one group for which you will be the nominated board representative. It is required that you attend these group meetings as often as you can and be prepared to field questions from the group members about the activities of the association, advise the group about upcoming events, and bring back to the board any issues the group may want to be raised. When visiting a group, a board member is responsible for the following: contact the group secretary or chair well in advance and make arrangements for the visit. Act as a conduit for this information flow from the board to members. Provide a summary of board deliberations. Act as a conduit for questions and feedback from the group to the board. Facilitate networking between groups, committees and other bodies. And play a key role in communicating and promoting the association's strategic plan to the membership. A board member is required to record the dates of visits conducted. All JPs come under the JP Code of Conduct. This is referred to in the JP Regulations. All JPs come under this Code of Conduct and no more needs to be said in this training. All members of the association are bound by the Association Code of Conduct. This does not replace the JP Code of Conduct, but is in addition to it. A member who is in breach of the Association Code of Conduct may face disciplinary action from the Association. Links to these documents are found on the Association website. Another reason why it is important to become intimate with the RAJSA website. There are Association guidebooks and manuals you should be aware of. The Board Guidebook, which this training is based on, is your guide to being a board member. The work of the two Association standing committees is complex enough to warrant a manual to assist them in their tasks. These are the PDC and the IT Manager. Check these out on the website under Governance to gain an understanding of what these committees are about. Also, there is the JP Reference Guide produced by the Association as a reference document to members when performing their JP duties. Well, do you still want to serve on the board? It can be immensely rewarding. However, we ask that you do not just fill a seat and not contribute. We want you to be proactive, work with the board, not against it, allocate suitable time resources to achieve tangible results, participate on committees and at group meetings, and volunteer to complete action items that you feel are within your sphere of expertise. Our commitment to you is we will support you in performing your board duties, we will provide training where necessary, and we will treat you with dignity and respect. This short ITP may have raised more questions than answers. Well, that's good. At least it has started you down the road with an awareness of what it means to be an RAJSA board member. If you have questions, please contact existing board members who will be happy to answer your queries. Thank you for completing this module. If you wish, complete the short quiz provided to measure what you have learnt.